So here's a little sad video from Veritasium of all people. Did he made a comeback? I sort of jumps in and out. Let's see, puts a video every single 3 weeks. And so this is a little 3 videos in 3 weeks. Can you imagine? That makes no sense. But the most recent video seems to be quite retarded. I mean, very simplified and just, not that great as what you would expect from advertising. But what am I expecting, anyways? Maybe I'm just growing out of this guy's channel. I mean, it's always oversimplified. It's just very short videos. I consider 10 minutes, 5 minutes incredibly short and not enough time to explain anything. It's just throw a few facts in there, blend it with some editing, bam, you got this. Well, so this video is about making people think, which is very interesting. The way it started, the information that I like to put out sometimes is about depression, that it's real, really real thing. I only felt depression when I felt a lot of physical pain, felt a huge disorder in my life of some not being clean enough, not taking care of myself enough, of something being broken in my life, not having a good enough job, not being comfortable, like really not being comfortable. And this is like, depression is most of the time what I think it is a form of pain. That the only thing you can do, and it's actually caused by thinking. So it's kind of like a side effect of thinking. Paralysis and depression sort of goes hand in hand, but depression is caused by overthinking and not solving actual problems, but sort of thinking that you're solving problems, which is like a very, very disgusting side effect. Where instead of doing something, you just back off and think. I like to minimize risk as much as possible. I hate to look at someone like Jake Paul and we all cringe when he puts his teammates in danger, or he puts himself in danger. It's like, God damn it. Now I want him to die. Because here's the thing. When you put in too much risk on your life, or, well, what else are you going to put your risk on? Like, it's almost better to get the most unlucky outcome than feel lucky to be alive, right? When it comes to risk, you actually would be better off getting the most unlucky outcome to really appreciate thinking before doing. Okay, yes, again, you will paralyze, you will stop yourself from doing things, you will actually be criticized by other people for, like, why are you so slow? Why are you so fucking overthinking things? But I do feel like people underestimate how important it is at the moment. I might have ruined my life, but people don't even do 50% of of the amount of thoughts that I have. They don't even do like 20% of what I do. Some people just think, feel things. It's like some people's ultimate goal is to solve feelings in some manner. So a very interesting test is being done that Veritasium is bringing up. Actually, it's not very interesting because science is stupid and underfunded, and it should be underfunded, and science will complain more and more of how you're supposed to support them. And you can see almost every YouTuber now has sponsorship. The world would have to become flat for me to get sponsorship. So that would be nice, world. Can you please expose yourself for how flat you are? Jeez, man. Anyway, so, and even if I get sponsorship, I just can't do it. I'm just too good of a person to be like, hey guys, try BetterHelp, because it really will not help you, because I'm just too honest about it. So please, maybe not try my sponsorship. Maybe try it just for fun. That would be actually pretty good if I find a really, really good use, but the sponsor would actually be pretty fucking upset of how I treated them. Well, I will warn them. If they really want. They will have to get my honest opinion, which they will 100% will not like. 100%. What are the odds of that? Anyway, so the test that I want to talk about is where people press a button to shock themselves, to cure themselves from boredom. And one thing that Veritasium did not highlight, but he just mentioned as a fact, 25% of women chose to do it, and 60% of men chose to do it, which is like quite a big difference. I mean, it almost shows everything you need to know about men and women, because men tend to do things and not care about feelings, while women are really, really restrictive on feelings, on how they respond to authority. Right? They're very careful when disobeying. Right? And it's sometimes causing yourself pain or pressing that red button is quite a disobeying thing to do. I mean, there's a lot of weird branches of the test that you can do, and that's why I say the science is really underfunded or undermined. Really, the science itself is undermined and it cannot actually perform a decent test, and especially if that comes by bridging understanding what is the difference between men and women. Now it's getting controversial. Now it's like, oh boy, science is no longer doing science at this point, because they will not do it. They'll be too scared, huh? Too scared to admit Earth is flat? I don't know where science is going with that. It's definitely gonna fall apart anytime soon then, if science cares about feelings. Oh boy. If science responds to that leftist bullshit, and the next video is gonna be against the leftism, against feminazis. I hope it's gonna be the last video that I hate women on, but like that's gonna be a pretty dark video right there. Okay, let's just move on. So that's the conclusion that we can draw from there. The next conclusion that Veritasium draws is that smartphones are actually harmful, and we like to harm ourselves when we're bored, right? And that's why we use smartphones. That's why every single time we feel bored, we just pull out a smartphone. Oh, I have a lot of responsibilities. I'm on social media. I have to respond to this thing. I have to check this thing. Like, there's no reason to be bored. There's no reason to think of all things, right? If you get in pain, there's a doctor. There's someone who can sell you some glasses. There's someone who can fix your teeth, give you some medicine. Like, great, guys. Capitalism. Everyone is there to take care of you and take care of all the trust that you have monetized. Let me take care of that for you. He also says that boredom causes you to think, and then he says the scientific benefits of boredom. It's like, are you fucking retarded? Boredom is one of the most destructive forces in life. If you bored, you're out. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? You will lose friends over boredom. You will lose yourself over boredom. It's just the darkest of holes you can put yourself through. And it's really, really destructive. Okay? It's the most scariest thing. That's why people run away from boredom as much as they possibly can. So saying that boredom is beneficial, man, I want to punch someone in the face, someone with scientific mindset, someone starting with the element I. 40. God damn it, where is that? How am I gonna? Okay, maybe there is a 42nd. Oh. Maybe I need to do research, guys. I don't do a lot of research. I'm sorry. I'm really, but that's where I'm focused at, right? I'm focused at thinking rather than doing research. Research would help, but I just watch videos, and I just hope that they're telling me the truth. And if it feels right, it feels in order, I'll put it all together, and here you go. Nice conclusions right there. You don't really need to read too much. You don't need to grasp your own authority and specialize. You don't need any of that. You just feel free to think. Feel free to put yourself in order of independence. Because this is naturally where depression comes from. If you claim independence, now you have to take care of yourself. Now you have a lot of problems. And self-help becomes very important topic, which fascinated that this guy talked about self-help. That was very mindful. But now I have to refer to him as this guy, because he calls his channel Actualized, which doesn't refer to him. I think that's the most stupidest thing ever. At least
it all works together.
Hey, it doesn't work. Shut the fuck up. It doesn't work together. God damn it. Yeah, his name is Leo, and he does great content. I cannot expose him for being stupid, but I do feel that there's something stupid going on. In the previous video, where he talked about what? God damn it, I forgot. Maybe I'm more stupid. Anyways, let's keep going. So, boredom makes you think, and that makes you more altruistic. Thinking specifically makes you more altruistic because you think about you, others in life. You put them all together, you figure out where you are, who you are, how you relate to other people. You start thinking very empathetic, let's put it that way. You sort of dissolve your ego slowly. Because it's like, whatever this is, whatever life is, like, this is bullshit. But it's fine. He's starting to stack things together, starting to put things in order. That's great. That's exactly what this channel is about, is making people think. Making people think movement. Sort of like leaked into Veritasium's channel, although he was always a bit of a thinker. I wouldn't give him too much credit, okay? Because the video kind of sucked. But at least it triggered me to put this. I mean, there's... As much as people's content suck, it always gonna trigger something else. So it's very good to just do it. And not worry too much about what people think. Worrying what people think, it usually comes through feelings. And that's just something you have to grow out of. That's just the problem that women have usually, because they react really quickly when you do something wrong, and they scream and they yell. They're just ridiculous, okay? So definitely that video is coming up next, okay? So it's a very interesting conclusion, right? That you use social media to cure yourself from boredom, and that people are really afraid of thinking as well as boredom. Because boredom makes you think, like, what? Where are you gonna, guys, put thinking in your life? Because that's gonna be very relevant, especially as we're getting more and more disconnected from each other. We really need to understand what friendship is, and people don't even know that. They don't even know what friendship is. There's a very good way to understand what friendship is. So you just ask yourself, what is the difference between helping yourself instead of helping others? Huge difference, okay? Other people, but there's one thing that is missing in this equation, okay? So you must only help your friends, not just strangers. You must only help people who will help you back, who will just follow the same rule, right? You need to make sure that if you're in a group, you want to follow the same rule, and that rule has to be very, very smart. So in this case, friendship is exactly that. You just help others, and the others help you, following the same rule. Friendship is dissolving right now. Friendship is sort of under attack. Because people just want to feel stuff, and they get quickly offended and discard friendship. And funny enough, my friend was saying, oh, people are very sensitive. And then he blocked me because I poked his weakness to the fact that I held a secret from him. Some people are very scared of secrets. Let's put it that way. Some people are very scared of those little things that they cannot defend themselves from, but other people would not be. So if you surround yourself with friends, you're actually immune to a lot of things that would make you sensitive. Meaning that this is actually an accumulated effect where you are disconnected from friends and you think like, I'm getting even more sensitive and more sensitive. And you just dive into this depressing, completely loner state. Where you think you can handle it, but you just can't. It's kind of weird. I'm not exactly sure. You just never come to the conclusion that you need friends. This is why you get deeper and deeper into disconnection. That you need friends to defend yourself from these weird interactions where you might get offended too much than you normally would. So, the idea is that if you get offended and you have friends, you sometimes get offended because of the relationship that you have. Sometimes you get so sensitive and you have so few friends to put in order that everything just kind of dissolves and you're just left alone. I don't want to say, but like, it's probably me. It's probably a lot of people. I mean, It's pretty sad. So, yeah, thinking does make you more altruistic. If just people just thought about this one thing, one question, that's already a pretty huge breakthrough. Because once they realize that friendship is pretty important, we start to make first moves and approach people and understand on both sides of how should we interact. Obviously, there's always a limit on how you can help the other person, but you must always be in the mindset that yes, you need help, okay, and you need help from others, and it's not that you don't need to be more independent as well. There's always going to be a conflict between growing and receiving help, but you have to blend those things together and figure out the balance, because it's a lot better to balance things than to try and squeeze something out of nothing, okay? There's so much independence that you can actually take care of on yourself. And at some point, you really need to figure out how to receive help. But yeah, it's a tough question when you dive deep, as always. It's almost like a separate video about it. So, it's pretty cool. Alright, see you guys later.